Tonight, shot by a cop. A man is dead after officers were called to help him. What led to the deadly incident? Also tonight, taking the heat.
Crazy, like seriously crazy.
Which community smashed more temperature records? And later, scoring a new team.
See what's possible right here at home.
When you can cheer on a new pro sports team.
CTV News. Live from downtown Winnipeg with Taylor Brock.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. Manitoba's police watchdog is being called in after Winnipeg police fatally shot a man in Linden Woods. Police say the shooting happened around 10:30 p.m. last night, but the initial call for help actually came in roughly 2 hours earlier.
The caller reported that he'd been locked out of his residence by his brother, who was behaving erratically and threatening to damage property. At approximately 9:58 p.m., a little more than an hour later, the caller contacted police a second time, advising that he remained locked out of the residence and that his brother was now screaming at him through a window.
About an hour after that second call, police say 2 officers arrived in a marked cruiser at the home on Avon Gate. Deputy Chief George Lebessoir says they tried unsuccessfully to get into the house. He says moments later, the 42-year-old man came outside with an edged weapon. That's when an officer shot him. A neighbor and police provided emergency first aid before paramedics arrived. The man was transported to Health Sciences Center, where he was declared dead. The independent investigation unit was able to provide a few more details, including that the man who made the initial call indicated his brother had mental health issues and was not taking prescribed medication. The deputy chief was asked if they considered sending the force's specialized unit for people experiencing a mental health crisis, pairing a mental health clinician with a plainclothes officer.
I would say it's always considered, and certainly we look to see where calls that are put in for service would be appropriate to send that unit. In this case, they were not sent, and I think clearly we want to make sure that we recognize, and I think the media recognizes that the ARC unit is made up of an officer and a civilian member, so we never want to put our civilian members in positions that might present violence of any kind. So safe to say in this case they were not sent out to this call.
Police say the first officers on the scene do not have body cameras, but one of the officers arriving after did. That video will be handed over to the IIU. Anyone with information or video footage is asked to contact Manitoba's Independent Investigation Unit. Earlier this morning in Winnipeg, a body was found behind a leisure center in the Chalmers neighborhood. Police say officers were called to the scene just before 8 o'clock for a report of a medical incident. That's where they found a person deceased. Police tape could be seen surrounding a wooded area in between the East End Culture and Leisure Center and Bowman Avenue, next to what appeared to be an encampment. Police were unable to provide any further details, including any information about the deceased or the circumstances surrounding their death. Now to a tragic blow to a First Nations community in the Interlake. RCMP say a 20-unit residential building in Peguis First Nation went up into flames Saturday morning. Mounties say they entered the main floor, making sure everyone got out. They later confirmed residents had already safely evacuated. There were no reported injuries. Photos provided by RCMP show the building was largely destroyed. The investigation is ongoing, but at this time, it's believed the fire was accidental. A man from Portage La Prairie was killed this morning when the vehicle he was driving collided with a train. Mounties say it happened on Road 40 West, which is located just west of Portage, around 8 o'clock. The force says the vehicle was a Manitoba Sheriff's van, and the force of the crash caused it to roll and land in a ditch. The 28-year-old driver died at the scene. His passenger suffered minor injuries and was taken to hospital as a precaution. RCMP, along with CN Police and Manitoba Workplace Health and Safety, are investigating. We're learning more tonight about a heavy police presence in Portage, the Prairie last week. Mounties say it all began around 2 in the afternoon Thursday after a report of gunfire and a firearm being pointed out of a window of a residence in the 100 block of Saskatchewan Avenue East. Now that's the main thoroughfare in town, and it was blocked off for several hours during the investigation. Officers called out to people inside the home, and eventually 6 people emerged and were arrested. Officers subsequently searched the home. One man was arrested after police learned he had a warrant out to be fingerprinted. Everyone else was released without charges. RCMP are still investigating. More positive news for Manitoba's second largest city. Officials in Brandon say high water levels on the Assiniboine River have started to decline. The city says the river retreated by about 8 centimeters overnight, but still has a ways to go. Levels climbed just over 2 meters in less than a week and peaked Sunday night. The city says its reinforced flood barriers are working to limit any damage. Winnipeg soccer fans are getting a pro team to cheer for. The Northern Super League is announcing its 7th franchise will call our city home. The club's name and crest have not yet been officially announced, but we do know the team will be gearing up for a game day in 2027. 2 Winnipeg soccer stars are behind the league's first expansion. One of them is gold medalist and former Team Canada star Desiree Scott. She's being named as Vice President of Community and Player Experience.
Bringing a professional team to Winnipeg, as I mentioned, has been a lifelong dream of mine. It's honestly surreal to stand here today and finally bring this opportunity to the city that deserves it. We finally have a pathway from grassroots soccer all the way to the professional game. Young athletes across Manitoba can dream big because they can finally see what's possible right here at home.
The other co-founder, Rob Gale, will be the club's chief sporting officer. He's a youth national team coach and was most recently the head coach of the Portland Thorns. Mayor Scott Gillingham previously announced Ralph Cantafio Soccer Complex was being considered by the franchise as a home venue. However, today the club says its venue will be announced at a later date. A summer staple is pirouetting back into Assiniboine Park. The Royal Winnipeg Ballet returns to the Lyric Theatre for Ballet in the Park, July 28th to 30th. You can experience the dancers' technical mastery while also getting a sneak peek at the first season to be fully programmed by artistic director Christopher Stoll. The event is free and no tickets are required. However, you might want to bring a lawn chair, a blanket, or your dancing shoes. A pre-show program begins at 6 o'clock with the main performance happening at 7. And here's our first look at tonight's weather. It is currently 21 degrees Celsius, feeling more like 26 with that humidity. It's quite cloudy right now with lower winds pressurizing, humid though at 76%. Tonight in Winnipeg, we can expect a mainly cloudy sky with a low of 19 degrees. Tomorrow morning starts off with 21 degrees and a mix of sun and cloud. Doing a double take on the drive. Heaving roads and sidewalks are causing serious problems across Winnipeg. Why they're popping up next. This week's extreme heat is causing several streets and highways to buckle or blow up in the shape of a triangle. The city says emergency maintenance crews are scrambling to keep up. Here's CTV's Jeff Keel.
Roads in Manitoba are buckling under the pressure.
It's crazy. Like, seriously crazy. It's crazy.
I don't know. I guess our roads aren't built for this kind of heat.
On Monday, this section of Silver Avenue near Century heaved up like a triangle amid the current heat wave. Crews spent Tuesday fixing the problem. Sidewalks around the city are also impacted.
It's been increasing as we're seeing more and more prolonged heat periods in the summer.
And maybe the most dramatic incident, this transit bus in Waverly West got hung up on a speed hump that buckled. Crews had to rip out a large section of the traffic calming device as they made repairs. The city says emergency maintenance crews could not keep up Monday with the demand from heat-buckled roadways and sidewalks, and they continue to respond. They say the south end of the city seems to have been hit the hardest.
It's a pretty simple repair. It's just a very sudden and unsafe condition.
Outside of the city is not immune. The province says several highways experienced concrete buckling and blowups, including the number 1, 75, 59 South, 7, 8, 30, and the West Perimeter, which was closed for a time Monday morning because of heaving.
With no rain and with excessive heat, day and night are a major contributing factor.
Ahmed Shalabi, a professor of civil engineering, says the concrete slabs and roadways have joints, which allow them to expand and contract depending on the temperature. But he says sometimes the joints are filled with sand or other debris, so when they try to expand again in the heat, there is no place to go but up.
Maybe becoming slightly more frequent with kind of excessive temperatures. We are getting excessive heat. So we're concerned about the future, really.
Jeff Keel, CTV News, Winnipeg.
A cyclist is in critical condition following a collision with a vehicle. It happened on Monday evening just after 6 p.m. at the intersection of Dufferin Avenue and Salter Street. The cyclist was taken to a hospital and police say they are listed as in critical condition. No other details are being shared. Police continue to investigate. Canada Post is offering free mail forwarding for people and businesses in Lynn Lake who've been affected by wildfires. Impacted residents have until August 10th to sign up. Customers will need to register through the Canada Post website using a credit card or go to a post office with government-issued photo ID. Lynn Lake residents who purchased the service between June 28th and July 10th will be given a refund. The service will be free to affected customers for up to 12 months. The speed limit has come down on Wellington Crescent. The city says crews began installing signage at the beginning of the month after council approved lowering the speed limit from 50 to 40 kilometers an hour between Academy Road and River Avenue. A spokesperson notes the change also applies to small sections of River and Stradbrook, where one-way portions lead in and out of Wellington. This all comes after a cyclist was killed on Wellington Crescent in 2024, prompting calls for lower speed limits and dedicated bike lanes. Dozens of WestJet flight attendants in Winnipeg took part today in a day of action as members vote on a potential strike. Around a third of the flight attendants that make up the Winnipeg base lined up outside Winnipeg Richardson International Airport. The airline's 4,400 flight attendants could walk off the job or be locked out as early as August 2nd. Talks between their union and WestJet have been ongoing for more than 10 months. The biggest sticking point in negotiations is pay.
I think a lot of people don't understand that, we are required to show up an hour before the flight leaves. We're doing security checks, we're doing pre-flight briefings, we're doing catering checks.
And the union says that work before the cabin door closes averages 35 unpaid hours every month. Members are voting on a strike mandate today and tomorrow. Talks between WestJet and the union continue now through Friday. Nearly half a dozen communities set heat records again Monday. Gretna and Emerson saw highs of 35.1 degrees, each breaking records set in 1980, according to Environment and Climate Change Canada. Gimli wasn't far behind, setting a new July 13th record of 33.8. That record has stood since 1964. And Oak Point and Shoal Lake each set records at 31.7 degrees. One of Manitoba's medical officers of health, Dr. Peter Benoit, says it's crucial during intense heat waves such as this one to know if you're at a higher risk.
Older adults, infants and young children, people with chronic illnesses, breathing difficulties, heart problems, people who work outside or exercise outside, right? They're going to be more exposed to the heat, or people who might not have shelter, right? People who might be experiencing homelessness and things like that.
Dr. Benoit says to keep an eye out for symptoms of heat exhaustion. This includes feeling faint or dizzy, having nausea or an upset stomach, a rapid heartbeat, or muscle cramps. Things become much more serious when heat stroke begins to set in.
And that would be, if someone is actually kind of confused or altered level of consciousness, they might lose consciousness. They might feel really, really hot, dry skin. They're not sweating anymore, might have a throbbing headache. So that's an emergency. We'd want you to get that person to a cool space, call emergency services. But if you're more in the heat exhaustion spectrum, that's the signal to drink some water, get out of the heat, get a break, right, before it progresses.
Heat stroke is a medical emergency, and as Dr. Benoit says, you should call 911. With the heat wave continuing, air conditioners and fans are working overtime. But a number of Manitoba households will find themselves without power this week as Manitoba Hydro makes some repairs in their area.
There's never a good time to do it, but it's important that we get it done to avoid a much longer outage in the future.
At least 22 outages are planned for communities around Winnipeg and parts of Manitoba tomorrow through Sunday. Among them, the Victoria Beach area that one will affect more than 6,400 customers. Manitoba Hydro says it will fix the temporary repair to a pole damaged during a storm earlier this spring.
So now we have the crews and the equipment available to make that permanent repair, which is really important because if that temporary repair fails, it could lead to an unplanned outage, a sudden outage for a much longer time.
The Victoria Beach repair is expected to take up to 8 hours. Manitoba Hydro says homeowners worried about their food can put bags of ice in their fridge and freezer to keep things cool. And the planned outage comes as electricity demand reached a new summer record. Manitoba Hydro says the electricity load peaked at 3,751 megawatts at 5 p.m. yesterday, when the temperature hit 31.4 degrees Celsius. That's 200 megawatts higher than the previous record set on June 6, 2023. But both actually fall far short of the winter peak load of 5,111 megawatts set on January 20th, 2025, when the temperature dropped to minus 32.7 Celsius. 3D printers are bringing this dinosaur to life. How you can help name it, plus hot and drizzling. We'll show you when your AC is getting a well-deserved rest. Still to come in your complete Skywatch forecast. Tonight's Skywatch photo comes to us thanks to Robin, who shot this beautiful barn near the High Bluff area. You can send your weather photos to Winnipeg Weather at CTV.ca. While taking a look over the next few days, you've got some variety when it comes to weather photos, at least for what's going on. Tonight, though, let's take a look at northwestern Ontario. So this area continues to be under the heat watch and warning because of very hot temperatures expected to end tomorrow. So we are seeing tomorrow temperatures in the high 20s. However, things will cool down a little later. In northern Manitoba, actually the same for you folks, including in places like Flin Flon and Norway House. Same for Oxford House, but not Thompson. Temperatures will also be in that same range, actually, as things get a little hotter for you tomorrow. However, things will cool down by the time Thursday rolls around. We are going to be seeing quite a few clouds in southern Manitoba. We are seeing, especially tomorrow morning, a chance of some heavy rainfall starting in the southwest. It is potentially going to touch us here in Manitoba if this system pushes a little further north. At this point, we are seeing a lot of clouds, but again, there is still that potential, not only for tomorrow, but maybe even tonight. We will see things be quite clear, though, over the next day or so in northern Manitoba while we deal with that mix of cloud coverage here. There is, though, a chance of some heavy rain making its way across, well, most of the province. We are seeing the system potentially bring in with it thunderstorms for folks on Thursday, including here in Winnipeg. Taking a look tonight, we are seeing in places like Thompson a low of 14 degrees, but very hot tomorrow with a high of 28 as you experience the heat wave that's also happening just to the west in places like the Pas, where temperatures will reach a high of 29 degrees Celsius. Mostly sunny there, but Norway House, you folks are also dealing with some smoke from wildfires. And as we mentioned a moment ago, there's a chance of a thunderstorm in southern Manitoba, including tonight and tomorrow in Brandon. And the same for us here in Winnipeg, however, more likely to be cloudy than anything. And a high of 28 degrees is expected tomorrow in Fort Francis with a mostly sunny day. Temperatures will momentarily drop for us on Thursday with that chance of showers and a high of 24. A new exhibit is roaring into action at the Canadian Fossil Discovery Centre.
From the total length, half of the length is only the neck. So it's very unusual.
The original Styxosaurus sample the exhibit is based around was actually discovered in Miami, Manitoba in 1983. It took the museum 8 months to 3D print approximately 400 pieces of bones. Now the museum is holding a naming contest for the dino. A winner will be chosen September 1st. Later, it's like TikTok, but for talking. A viral challenge is helping boost people's confidence in just 60 seconds. We'll show you how next. If you're one of the many people who freeze up at just the idea of making a quick elevator pitch, there's help. Here's ABC's Danny New.
I'm really no good at speech making. Normally, I get so nervous that I faint.
When it comes to public speaking, many people may feel like Anne Hathaway's character in The Princess Diaries.
The topic is tangled earbuds.
But earlier this year, a 24-year-old in Charlotte decided she'd had enough of that fear.
How much has this changed your life over these past 6 months?
I would say it's completely changed my life.
Since February, Mona Sue here has been picking up millions of views online. As she challenges herself daily to, for example, speak on a randomly generated topic for a minute straight.
I think it's really just about practice. You have to put yourself out there over and over again.
Mona works in tech as a data scientist, and as she entered the workforce a few years ago, she says she felt unprepared.
You're kind of just thrust into the workforce and you're expected to know how to communicate. But in reality, it's like only the people who are good communicators are able to advance as leaders.
About a year ago, I was working a corporate job.
So late last year, she joined the nonprofit Toastmasters to get some practice and even started mirroring TED Talk speakers to, for example, learn what to do with their hands.
I'm going to start working out later.
But it was this 30-day challenge to speak on a random topic that really catalyzed her journey. Mona even used her tech skill set to build a website called SpeechTopicGen.com. At first, it was just to generate topics for her, but that didn't last long. One commenter writing, "You are doing a great job. I'm so inspired. I am starting my 30-day challenge."
Now I feel like very confident, very happy to talk to people that I've never talked to before. So I would say it's definitely opened up like a whole new world for me.
Okay, I just spun the random topic generator and I got roast self-checkout machines. Well, I would say they're incredibly confusing and I always end up having to call for help. In New York, for ABC News, I'm Danny New.
Slovenia's annual volleyball on water tournament is making a splash. Teams from around the world took to a special river court in the center of the country's capital. The court is submerged under 15 centimeters of water, bringing another challenge to the game. Volleyball on water was first held in 2019. Ready, aim, spit. A newly crowned champion pea shooter is sharing the secret behind his success, and we'll break down tomorrow's forecast next.
Women's clothing provided by RW & Company. Salon services provided by S&T Spa Salon.
A mix of sun and cloud for us tomorrow here in Winnipeg. Pardon me, I should say Wednesday, not Tuesday. Temperatures will be pretty warm, actually, reaching a high of 29 in the evening. However, there is a chance of some showers in the very early hours of Thursday morning. While most of the world's attention was on the FIFA World Cup, the 53rd World Pea Shooting Championship went ahead.
Oh, it's such an honour to be a champion. You have to select your peas very carefully. They need to be very round, and you have to hold your pea shooter very steadily. That is the secret.
Some sage advice. The English village of Wickham in Cambridgeshire hosted the event over the weekend. The rules for the pea shooting championship state: shooters must stand 3.7 meters away from the target, which is coated with wet putty. They get 5 shots to spit the dried peas at the target. A bullseye scores 5 points. The middle ring gets 3 and the outer ring gets 1. Success really depends on how well-rounded the peas are, your steady puffs, and the wind. A lot of variables. It's very serious competition over there. That's it for us tonight. Thanks for watching and good night.